How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
We are we not when are we hopping into horoscopes or when are we talking about Rachel Lee Cook?
Okay, so let's talk about Rachel Lee Cook first. So you know who Rachel Lee Cook is, right?
Yeah.
From She's All That. Okay.
Has she done
Well,
anything else, or has it only been She's All That?
she does a lot of Hallmark movies.
So it's only been She's All That.
So She's All That was her biggest. If she has something else, somebody else can jump on here and tell us if we're wrong. But she came out and said that passing up on X-Men was a huge mistake. And we're like, you really had to come out and tell us that? All we had to say is you had the opportunity to do X-Men and you didn't. And we would all know what the answer to that is, right? I'm looking up, see what else she's done. And I really like her. And I'm not trying to bash her, but Obvi not doing X-Men was not a smart choice.
1995's The Babysitters Club would argue otherwise.
Okay, there you go. Okay, she was Cross Country Christmas.
Oh, Love Guaranteed in 2020 was a smash hit.
Okay, she's always going to be Lainey, right? Lainey Boggs.
Yeah.
She could have been known.
Get Carter?
She could have been known for X-Men, and she wasn't. Hi, Jennifer. How's your husband doing?
Are you trying to tell me...
Good morning, Zeke.
...that Jennifer Lee Cook's role in She's All That next to one Freddie Prinze Jr., and I believe Jason Biggs was also a part of that. Are you trying to tell me... No, I don't think he was.
Jason, Paul Walker.
Paul Walker. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That one didn't catapult her to stardom?
No. I think Usher was in that too.
I think you're right.
Mm-hmm. So Usher has a residency in Vegas, and I want to go so bad. And you know me, I'm not into a lot of concerts anymore. We've been very, very blessed with a lot of shows. I want to see Usher so bad. And you know who's funny? Chrissy Teigen. She's like, he's the king of R&B. She goes, wait, is John considered R&B? Anyways, Usher's still the king. I'm glad he's improving, Jennifer.
And I know that her and her husband are going through some things. I literally woke up this morning and thought I was going to have to go take a COVID test.
So Ian has the sniffles and he's not feeling very well. But Ian's also very dramatic.
Well, I went out in that smoke.
You were one of the first vaccinated. You were one of the first vaxxed.
Yes. As soon as I could. In fact, if you remember when I got my vaccination, people were like, how did you get an appointment for a vaccination? I'm like, I called my doctor and asked.
Oh, I meant to tell you. Okay, so yeah, people were upset because like elderly and autoimmune should go first. So in the Philippines, I learned it's backwards.
Okay.
So, okay. It's the younger, government first, government military first, and then all the rich people, all the corporations, and then the younger to the older. So the older and immune, what's the word I'm looking for? Compromised.
Yeah.
The immune compromised last because they had enough time to live. I learned that the other day from my friends from the Philippines.
I'm not against that, I guess.
You're like, if you've 80, you live your most life.
Right.
Yeah,
see,
see,
like at what point?
Jennifer, I told him that your mom was vaxxed and she still got sick. Sorry, my knees hurt.
I just feel like that's like common sense. Like if somebody, like right around the age of, oh man, I don't want to put a price on life, but I think right around the age of 55 is where they should start to be like, well, you had 5.5 decades and this one hasn't had a decade yet. So did you do everything you could with those 5 decades? Because this person needs to catch up.
That's the thing. Like if it was between me and my kid, I'd be like, okay, it's my time to go. But we don't have to get into it because I know people are going to get crazy on here. But there was a whole article going around yesterday about a mom who was in labor with a baby, and the dad was going to have to make the hard choice of who's going to live. And she asked him to choose her over the baby. And people on social media flipped out.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. She said, if this goes down and you have to make a decision, you're choosing me. And the internet went bananas.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and just take a left-hand turn on not going to answer that one.
Don't. Let's not get into that. Let's get into horoscopes. Let's get into some real stuff.
I'm going to circle back real quick to my 10-year-old and be like, he got a decade, I got 4 decades, we'll flip a coin. I'm kidding.
Okay, so my friend Jessica told me about this website, and it's called Dark Astrology, and it doesn't get you just into your horoscopes. It gets you like each one of your horoscopes has a decan 1, a decan 2, a decan 3, depending on the birth date and stuff. So Cheyenne is Aquarius. But there's different decans. So like I am a Pisces decan too. And you usually, and you probably still don't believe this stuff, but I was reading it the other day and it was like dead on. So Cheyenne, if you're an Aquarius, look up Dark Astrology. So Aquarius, I can't find it.
Trying to find mine from when we did it too, because
Aquarius, January 21st through the 30th is Deacon 1. The 31st to February 8th is Deacon 2. So Layla would be a Deacon 2 Aquarius. And then so I'm a Pisces Deacon 2. Listen to this, you guys. They are the most slippery of the fishes. Now you see them, now you don't. That's the first line. On February 28th, Jennifer, so I'm Deacon 2. These ambiguous creatures are masters of disguise and to blend into any environment effortlessly. But they're very liquid, so it also means they have the risk of being the most toxic.
Nuh-uh.
It says these subjects are supremely absorbent to their environment. So whether I'm in a negative environment or positive, if it's a negative environment, I'm about to burn the house down. If it's a positive environment, I seem to be the public speaker of the group. But I really have to, since I'm moldable, go with a crowd, like a good crowd, if I want to stay into my good efforts.
You're directed by the environment around you. So you're not in control of your environment. You flow with your environment.
Yes, I can absorb toxins as well as I can absorb love and bliss. So I have to decide which way I'm going to go. That's Pisces Deacon 2. Do you have yours up?
I don't buy into horoscopes.
You just don't have yours up. Yours was totally, yeah. So mine, I waver between being the victim and the savior. So it depends on my situation. But why don't you go on? Yeah. Jennifer, as soon as it said, now you see me, now you don't, I was like, meh. All right. What about you?
Tell me if this reminds you of anybody you know. Sometimes these people can seem like the classic bipolar. When they are up, they are flying, exuberant, charming, fun, and playful. When they are down, though, it can actually be quite scary. It is often a shock to see them this way to those who have only seen Cancer 3's sunny side.
Weird. But you shouldn't believe in horoscopes because that's not dead on you at all.
You may have allowed yourself to indulge in daydreams and fantasies and become too idealistic, imagining life to be a certain way. Karmically, this card can mean too many lives have been... Okay. Where's the other one in here?
Okay, Monica, what day? Go ahead. There was a couple in there that we were reading.
Because it's so spread out that you have to like kind of go through and oh, did I go through it all already?
No.
Okay, here we go. This deacon is a difficult one, especially if the sun is positioned. Okay, 5 degrees. The sun. You can see by the names below that some of them are indeed tortured writers in comics. The stress of keeping up the happy Castor facade over a dark Pollux interior is shown very clearly in the case of Robin Williams, who, by the way, I share a birthday with.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. You guys are a lot alike.
The native must realize that they really need to make hay while their midsummer sun shines. They must guard against wasting their prime time weighed down by the wrong partner or fritting away any wealth they might have acquired.
Oh, that's not you at all. Just like this one isn't me. The placing for this fish would be a great spy.
What?
But most of their, if they're criminal and slimy, they could turn the great power into something nefarious, or you can make it powerful and good.
I can see you doing that 100%. This deacon also attracts conflict and drama because it is so interested in taboo topics and no-go areas.
Yeah, if you're just catching on with us, we're looking at dark astrology. So it doesn't just break down your horoscope, it breaks it down by like deacon. So all of the zodiac signs have deacon 1, deacon 2, deacon 3. Monica, it looks like you're deacon 3. I know me, Pisces deacon 2, and Pisces and Scorpio deacon 2 are like 100% compatible, most powerful in the zodiac.
This one just told me that as a Cancer, I need my crab shell because as much as I will go out, I don't want to go out.
That's not you.
That's not me at all.
Mm-mm.
I don't like to stay at home. I don't want to get the invite but then not go.
You totally want to get the invite but not go.
I know. I heard blogger Ashley's wedding was beautiful.
Yes. And you were invited but you didn't go, and then we didn't go.
The invitation that I got was also beautiful.
Yeah, so you're a lot like that. So
yours started out, yours might as well have just said Madden. You're slippery like a fish.
Yeah.
How are you not?
And it says how creative I am, but we all knew that.
How are you not an astrological sign already?
I know. So my daughter's totally into it too, right?
Okay.
And so we sit around and we talk about it, and she has people in her life telling her how stupid it is, and she shouldn't care, but she's super into it. We talk about it all the time. And so of course she comes to her mama, and now I have this new friend who she's more on the religious side, so I didn't think that she'd be following it. But every time she starts talking to a new guy, she's like, okay, this guy's a Taurus, I'm this, blah, blah, blah. What do you think? And I'll tell her every time.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. You know what? Honestly, to me, that is a shared interest, shared activity.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I know you call it crazy, but just like if every guy with dark hair I dated was terrible, I would stop dating guys with dark hair. I won't date an Aries. They're all terrible for me.
Right.
And I don't hate Aries. They're just terrible for me.
My hard time aside, if this is something that you and your daughter dig talking about and doing together, I think that's awesome. I think
I think so.
I think in that regard, you've hit a home run, right?
Oh yeah, she's super into it. We have so much. She's so pissed that her sign is a water barrel, though, because Joey gets a lion. I at least get a couple cool fish, right? And she's like, a water barrel? Why? It's a water barrel.
I get a crab.
At least it's snippy. Do you really, Cheyenne? Okay, usually sign on sign does, they're not 100% compatible, but usually like Pisces or Cancer, we tend to get to know each other, but you're too much alike.
Yeah, can you imagine two of me in one house?
But even Cancer, because so me and Cancer and me and Pisces, we're compatible, but we're both like do. So that's why I need like a Virgo or a Taurus, because they are still compatible with my sign, but they're way more level-headed. I connect the best with a Scorpio, but we're both kind of dreamy. So somebody has to be the leader.
Two of you in one house?
No. Yeah, me and my daughter. I've been there, done that.
Oh, it's happening.
Dude. We'll lose everything. We forget everything. There's a reason. She's already ready to come home, and it's not because she dislikes Vegas. It's because she's like her mom. She does not keep her. And I've had so many people be like, at some point you're going to have to give those kids some stability, and they're going to have to stay in one place at one time. And I'm like, says who? Like, right. I love changing every year. Like, that's one of my favorite things is new experiences every year, and they seem to be fine with it.
Yeah. It's well, and I mean, also, everybody's saying that. Are those their kids?
Yeah, right.
How's that work?
Right? Yeah.
My kids are eating cereal right now. One's having Frosted Mini Wheats, and the other one's having Rice Krispies. There's going to be somebody on here who doesn't agree with that. Tell me you don't agree, and then watch me not care.
Yeah, I'm so done caring that my kids are living in Vegas with their dad and people are like talking behind my back. So that's why that one day I posted a photo like enjoying my free time.
Yeah.
No blanks given.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I have to do today?
What?
I have to take my youngest to go get a COVID test.
Oh no. I know all these kids are starting to get it.
So check this out, okay? Like he doesn't have it, right? And this is what this weirds me out, but I understand why they're doing it because otherwise everything would come to a standstill, I guess. But like we got a letter from the school a couple of days ago that said that our son had come in direct contact with somebody who had tested positive for COVID or had been in the proximity or whatever. But then they told us like he doesn't have any symptoms or anything like that. He can continue his day at school with his mask on. When you pick him up, he can come back to school tomorrow. Just have a COVID. We need 2 negative COVID tests. So schedule some tests. And so today he has one at Kaiser at like 10:30, and then I'm just taking him back to school. Like he just like it's basically they came in contact with somebody with COVID. Fingers crossed, get him tested, but also bring him to school with the mask on.
Okay, and because you've been a masker and a vaxxer and everything from the beginning, I don't want to discredit because he doesn't have any symptoms, but my girlfriend, both of her boys tested positive, and neither one of them had symptoms.
Yeah, that's what
And they got to go back to school earlier for testing because they tested positive than if they would have just quarantined.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. So it's interesting waters to navigate because like I understand why I'm doing some of the things, but then some of the things I don't understand, and then some of the protocol to me makes sense, but then doesn't make sense, and I'm just kind of a bag in the wind and going with it. You know?
Well, I know, but you even kind of, and you didn't call me out on it in a bad way, but when you had your mask on when we hung out last time, and I'm like, aren't you vaccinated? And you're like, yeah, but I could be a carrier, and there's still old people around, and you're really good about it. I don't think the world is realizing that these little humans are the carriers.
Yeah,
and you know that everybody thought that because the kids don't have symptoms that they're not sick, but they're carrying it to other people who are getting sick.
And I appreciate all the kind words, but if I'm being honest, I've laxed. You know, like when I got my vaccine and then when things started to kind of calm down, I totally put my guard down. I was like, yeah, I was maskless everywhere, and now I put my mask back on, right? But then in some places, and I still do it, I feel kind of silly because I'm the only one doing it. You know.
I know. I'm only half vax. I had COVID twice. I'm the worst. I had COVID twice. I'm only half vax, and I live in an area that nobody's been wearing one this whole time. Like the parents are going at each other's throats, picking up these kids from school. I'm glad my kids are with their dad right now. It's getting crazy from what I've heard down here.
I meet my kids down on the corner, so I miss all of that.
All I know is they hadn't taken us off the email list, and I love the kids' school up in the mountains. The administration is fantastic. I'm not bashing the school at all. It's the crazy parents. Like they had to come out and be like, wear your mask and don't fight. Joe and I are still on the email like, what is happening at the elementary school?
Our detention and expulsions are mostly parents right now. And
yes, odd. It's like they need a drunk tank at an amphitheater. You know what I mean? To throw them in until the end of the day.
I've never been in one of those. Anyway, yeah, no, it's a trip. It's a trip. So we're gonna go. We're gonna get our COVID test today, and I mean he has no symptoms. He's fine. I think I mentioned to you earlier today. I legit thought when I woke up that I might have COVID because I couldn't taste my smoothie. I was just really congested. Once it all cleared out, I could smell my candle and taste my smoothie.
Remember when I had COVID for the second time for a week and was like, I'm just not feeling well. And you're all, go get a test.
Yeah.
Because I was dying.
Yeah. Well,
dude, that first day, I thought.
The not feeling well. Like, there's not feeling well. And then there was you who was like, we're like, go get a test. You're like, I just don't feel well.
Dude, it was the worst.
Well. You look like you're boneless right now and you're just going to melt into the ground.
Yeah, the first day that I started having symptoms, I thought I was going to pass out. I thought I was going to pass out.
Yeah, no, nothing like that here.
All right, you guys. We'll see you a little bit later. Bye.
Bye, guys.